Good evening or afternoon, everybody. It is me, Josh, HY Forecast, guys, and welcome back to the video. Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful, again, Wednesday afternoon or evening, and this is going to be another update on the major upcoming pattern change. Have not had one since, I believe, late last weekend, like around Saturday or Sunday, something like that. But again, there's actually major new updates and actually getting a lot closer. We're seeing our first major warm front, actually currently right now out here into the plains and even the Midwest, and we're going to continue to see these temperatures get a lot colder now. We're actually seeing an increase in cold temperatures and even warm temperatures as well. So again, I do apologize if I'm not responding to your comments like right now, because I am actually when you guys are seeing this video, I'm going to be playing tennis with my sister since there are tennis tryouts tomorrow and I need to practice. So again, I'll try to respond to your comments as soon as possible. And same as with the shout out video, again, I'm going to be playing tennis with my sister. So it's not like that I'm ignoring you guys or anything. But yeah, be sure to share the channel to any friends or family, guys. We just hit 1.98K again. I just did my shout out video. If you guys want a shout out for 2K, be sure to jump to that video after this or before. But yeah, without further ado, let's get in this video. So as you guys can tell, the heat, and this is a 6 to 10 day outlook, the heat for the east got a lot worse. Now we're seeing a 90 to 100% chance for above average temperatures. That is incredibly crazy. That's super duper warm, and there's like no chance for below average temperatures getting there at all. And we even have a 90 to 100% chance for below average temperatures now. So we've definitely seen an increase in cold temperatures and warm temperatures. But we're gonna start off with the east now. So this is gonna be all the way from southern New Mexico down all the way to Maine. So again, this can be very widespread heat, but the worst of it will be over here. This will be seeing the best chance for above average temperatures, ranging from a 60 to 100% chance. I don't think I've ever seen a 100% chance. I think I've seen only 90. But again, this is all the way over here, guys, and this is crazy. This is normal. So it's definitely way above average temperatures. We're going to be seeing up to 10 to 20 degrees, maybe even 25 degrees above average in these areas. Especially, we're going to have just a frequent warm air out here for the whole eastern coast, all the way from Maine to Florida. You're just going to continue to see way above average temperatures, spring temperatures as well. So that's something definitely something we need to worry about. Again, it's just the time where you don't really need your coats right now. After this snowstorm, the blizzard, we're just not going to see much action yet. We will be seeing actually a lot more winter precipitation with this warm air than you would expect. And then we have the below average temperatures throughout areas all the way from the Midwest down all the way to the western coast. Again, our best chance for below average temperatures is throughout the far northern plains out here and also the Pacific Northwest. That right here will be ranging throughout all the way from an 80 to 100% chance for below average temperatures. The worst of it is right here. I know it's really hard to see, but this is where the 100%, 90 to 100% chance is right here. That's what we'll be seeing incredibly cold temperatures. That's what we'll see the heart of the cold, up to 30 degrees below average, guys. We're going to be seeing negative digits and single digits with no problem at all. It's not going to take the coldest hours and overnight it's going to just be like the highs at some point will be the single digits again. We'll be seeing this pattern continue to bring in very, very cold Arctic blasts. It's going to definitely increase the amount of snowfall out here in the Sierras and Rockies. It's just going to surround much of the mountain ranges, and then we'll be seeing slightly below average temperatures throughout the southwest or areas near the Four Corners and all the way to the Midwest. That's we'll be seeing a bit less of the cold air, but again, the worst of it will be in the northern plains and just much of the western coast. Not for the 8 to 14 day outlook. It actually is looking not as bad. It's really sad to say that 70 to 80% chance is not as bad. It's actually facts. It's just like it's not as bad now. So again, the looks like the cold air will start to take over by the 22nd. So that is very good news. That we'll start to see we won't see the cold air leave the west as well, which means they could definitely increase the amount of time for the cold air in the east. And again, we're just gonna be seeing below average temperatures still all the way from New Mexico down into New Jersey. We'll just see the worst of the warm temperatures out here though, into all the way to southern Texas down into North Carolina. Only be seeing up to a 60 to a 70% chance above average, maybe even 80%. We won't be seeing temperatures as bad, maybe only 5 to 10 degrees above average. Again, guys, not going to be as bad as this week. It's just going to be crazy. Or really next week. It's just going to be crazy. These warm fronts here we're going to be seeing. It's just kind of historic as well. And then as you can tell, this cold air is going to get a lot closer now. As you can tell, we are going to be seeing the ridge. Kind of like, it's going to be a really weird ridge. It's actually going to go around the west coast in this way. So this is the ridge now. So and so while we have the average temperatures throughout the really the Ozarks, again, we're going to be seeing below average temperatures all the way now, dipping all the way to Texas, to the Ozark, and even all the way to the Northeast, so or New England area. So this cold air could finally take over now instead of the spring temperatures. We'll finally see normal to below average temperatures. And again, we're going to continue to see a 70 to 80% chance as well for below average. So our highest are still 70 to 80, and next week is 90 to 100. So definitely a decrease in there. We're going to continue to see these Arctic blasts, but won't be as bad or really long lasting. Still could see 10 to 15 degrees below average. And now let's take a look at the tropical tidbits temperature anomaly now. Alright guys, this is actually all including the new 4:30 update. As you can tell, it's just at 3:30. You have to be at even 384 hours. So again, this is all a new update. So again, so basically this is what we'll be seeing the newest information with this upcoming pattern change or pattern changes. But again, by the next 24 hours, again, like I said, we're going to be seeing our first warm front now. And this is out here into the plains and Ozarks, like I mentioned early in the video in my introduction. Again, we will be seeing the 12 to 16 degrees above average, but very widespread. Again, just going to be seeing the outskirts of this band, just 4 to 8 degrees above average. And then, as you can tell, we're already seeing the western Canada area starting to cool down, which is going to be where we have that first cold front here, which will actually intensify the warm front. Now, again, this is definitely going to be a lot. This is actually going to be the cold front that's going to be the reason why we're seeing the blizzard. You're probably wondering, we have this. How are we having it almost a historic blizzard? We're actually, because we have this cold air that's going to come here incredibly fast, which is going to definitely decrease the amount of temperatures almost instantly. So definitely that's really going to cause snow, especially it's going to start over here, and by the time it makes its way to the Midwest, it will be below average temperatures. But again, we are going to be seeing up to 12 to 20 degrees above average, especially throughout these areas near Illinois and even Indiana. And that's why we are seeing one of the worst of the severe weather there, because we are seeing overday heating. It's going to be very warm. So that is why we're going to be seeing a ton of severe weather in these areas, which I'll talk about as we get closer to the weekend. And then we'll be seeing out here for much of the East Coast all the way to 8 to 12 degrees below average. And then we'll be seeing up to 6 to 12 degrees below average throughout areas into the northern plains. And then this will get a lot worse. Now we'll be start seeing close to 22 degrees above average throughout many areas in the northeast. We will be seeing spring temperatures up to some 50s and even 60s out here for New York City, Harrisburg, Allentown. And like I said, it's going to be incredibly rare. And as you can tell, much of southern Canada is now becoming a lot colder, which is going to be the reason why we see a major cold front. It's going to be one of the biggest Arctic blasts by far I've seen this winter. Again, like I said, it's just going to be spring temperatures throughout areas into the northeast, and then it's going to get actually super duper bad. Like, look at this, up to 28 degrees above average. This is definitely going to be up to some 60s, and then we'll see a little bit of a cool down out here into the plains. Again, this is all by Sunday, so this is actually close from now. As we now get into Tuesday the 14th, here we have the major Arctic blast, going to be seeing up to 20 to 30 degrees below average all the way over here into the Cascade areas, into the Sierras. And here we have our second major warm front. This is going to actually be a lot more widespread, all the way from the eastern coast down to areas near central Nebraska, and be seeing two sections into the plains and southeast, where we'll be seeing up to 8 to maybe even 14 degrees above average. As we now get into the 15th, it will become this Arctic blast will become a lot worse, now continuing to bring in around 35 degrees below average, and even 25 to 30 degrees below average throughout much of the northwest, and then even seeing 16 degrees below average for the northern plains. And then again, guys, this is going to bring by far, just without even some trouble, definitely going to bring, without a doubt, single digits here, and negative digits going to be seeing another area out here in the southeast, another band to bring 14 degrees below average. And then by the 18th, we have a bit of a cool down out here for the northeast, and even out here into the mid-Atlantic, which is definitely what you're going to need after. We're going to have another warm front and continue to see 20 to 25 degrees below average throughout the northern plains, and then much of the western United States up to 8 degrees below average. But again, you might think that's over, but no, it's not over. We have another warm front by January 20th. Again, this is going to continue to affect much of the eastern United States. Again, it's actually going to be more of just the eastern kind of coast and far eastern United States, because again, here we have that cold front. Like I said, on the 20th, that's where we saw on the 22nd here. 22nd, here we have, that's where we have the below average temperatures coming in those areas. So that's exactly why we have below average temperatures starting to take over the United States again. But it's actually going to fool you. You're about to see why. Again, we'll be seeing very cold temperatures up to, again, 20 degrees below average in the northern plains. And even going to be seeing plunging 16 degrees below average. And then much of the western United States as well, including the southwest, going to be seeing 12 degrees below average. And now you think, oh, here we have almost the whole western United States below average. This is definitely going to take over. Like, what? How is this not going to take over? Well, wait till this. We have a major warm front now throughout eastern Canada. So it's warm Canada, part of Canada, versus warm Canada here. Or sorry, cold Canada. So it's gonna be like basically just like it's like a different part of the completely different part of the country. Each country, including the United States, are gonna continue seeing 12 to 16 degrees below average, and we'll continue to see almost the whole western United States up to 8 to 16 degrees below average. It's kind of cool, like it's almost a straight line, like it's just splitting up the part of the country. And then by the 24th, we have this cold air finally taking over the United States, which this one will most definitely affect the southeast and eastern coast. So this actually could be the end of the empire of the warm front. And now let's get into the European anomaly. I'm actually kind of glad I'm making this video a bit shorter, but I actually don't want to jinx it because we're already at 12 minutes. But after this, I'm going to be looking at the temperature shaded, so you can actually see how cold on comparison to your regular temperatures. And then after that, we'll wrap up the video. But again, by tomorrow, we're going to be seeing this incredibly warm, big warm front going to be affecting especially the Midwest, bringing it around 12 degrees above average. And then here we have this. This wasn't really a kind of really the first cold front, but it was just a cold pocket of air here. Just gonna be seeing around 4 to even 7 degrees below average. Not gonna be too bad unless like you're in far north central Montana, where we're seeing to close to 19 degrees below average. But as we now get into Saturday, this is when we have the major cold front pushing the major warm front. Here we have another pocket of cold air. Again, we're going to be seeing up to 15 degrees, close to 16 degrees below average, especially throughout here through Michigan and even the Ohio Valley. And continue to see all the way from Maine to Arkansas, going to be seeing up to 8 to 15 degrees above average. And then we have the major cold, first cold front, going to bring up to 6 to 13 to even 15 degrees below average out here into the the southern plains. And as we now get later into Sunday, this warm air does not get any better. We're going to be seeing 23 degrees above average out here. I apologize, guys. That was actually a water bottle. We're going to be seeing up to 23 degrees above average out here into the northeast, and continuing to see maybe 3 to even 7 degrees below average out here for like much of the plains and even the southwest. Again, not going to be too shabby. But look at this cold front. 30 degrees below average, guys. You can't even see it over here. It only goes to 21. That is a crazy cold front. That's going to bring in 30 degrees below average for Montana, and even going to bring in up to 7 to 15 degrees, maybe even 20 degrees throughout the southwest and even Pacific Northwest. And this is going to definitely intensify. This warm front is going to be a lot more widespread. Going to be seeing a millions under 7 to 10 degrees below above average, and then even 9 to 17 degrees above average, a bit more. And then look at this air, or cold air, 32 degrees below average. This is a massive system. It's just a massive cold front, guys. This is definitely something that's going to cause dangerously cold temperatures, guys. Dangerously cold temperatures, and we're going to continue to see up to 17 degrees below average right here into the Ohio Valley. And this cold front is going to continue to bring in a very, very cold temperature at Montana and even the Dakotas. Again, guys, their average is cold enough. This will actually eventually push out the warm air on the 16th, and then by the 17th, we'll have this major cold front out, bringing 30 degrees below average into Nebraska, South Dakota, Montana, and this is going to bring in just, guys, it's going to be wild out here. It's going to be wild. But hold on, guys, I'll be back for a second. And then, sorry, guys, I was getting a call from one of my friends, but yeah, continue to see this very warm air at the 12 to 14 degrees above average, and it looks like we'll have this cold air finally sweep over the warm air, maybe even bringing from all the way from 8 degrees above average to all the way into 8 degrees below average. So now to actually take a look at the now temperature. Let's get to the outlook here for the temperature shaded here, the top row tidbits. Alright, so I actually pulled it up because I forgot to bring it. But again, as we in the next 48 hours, this is Friday, we're going to be seeing crazy temperatures already. We're going to be seeing some all the way from 70s, 63 for St. Louis. Going to be seeing some 50s now into Indianapolis, which was actually pretty rare seeing those as highs. And going to be seeing 72 for much of the Gulf Coast. And look at these highs, -9 degrees and -6 degrees throughout areas into the Dakotas for highs on Friday. Going to continue to see some low 20s and even some high teens out there for highs as well. And then as we now get into the Tuesday, the January 14th, look at this, -39 degrees Fahrenheit, guys. This is going to bring in one of the coldest shots I've ever seen. Ever. And again, we're going to be seeing as well this warm air as well. We're going to be seeing 56 for New York, which is actually very rare for highs during this time. 67 throughout areas near Virginia Beach. 69 out here near Macon, Georgia. Even close to 75 near Dallas. And look at this, -28 to -22 for highs out here all the way into the far northern plains. And look at this, -31 degrees as we get into the overnight hours. We're going to be still seeing some 60s and 50s as overnight hours in the southeast. Again, we'll have that little bit of a cold front in the northeast that we saw in the GFS model run. But look, then we have the warm air coming back. Again, it's going to have this major cold front throughout much of Canada now. That's going to bring in up to -3 to -20 degrees throughout the Midwest as highs and even overnight lows, and even seeing some teens out here throughout areas, even single digits for Portland, teens throughout Seattle, and then we're going to be seeing this a little bit of warm up just for the southeast. 74 near Charlotte, which is incredibly rare. 62 for my area, which is actually not incredibly rare, but it's still not really every single year like this. And then continue seeing up to -2 degrees, -11, guys. This is just a massive system, and it's just crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I'll be playing tennis, so I won't be responding to comments immediately, but I'll try my best to respond as fast as I can. Everybody stay safe, warm, or if you want cold, but bye, guys.